2022 has been a profitable year for clients of Carmine Bianco, and he's gearing up for a big final 6 months with NFL, NCAA, MLB, FIFA World Cup, NHL, soccer, and more. As we hit the midpoint of 2022 and are looking at 9% of inflation, on the flip side, Carmine Bianco has increased his clients' bankrolls by 38% by far this year. We wanted to give you a chance to jump on board and finish this year with a limited time deal. Get Carmine's All Access starting today and going through December 31st, 2022 for only $6.99, discounted from $14.98, coming to just around $3.50 per day. Due to the discounted pricing, wager bucks and coupon codes cannot be combined with this special offer and are limited to the first 10 subscriptions only.
Happy Friday, guys. Welcome in right here to WagerTalk TV. You're watching Puck Time, and the Stanley Cup will be in the building tonight in Colorado for Game 5. Colorado took Game 4 of the series. They now lead 3-1. Tampa Bay will try and fight things off and extend the series tonight. We're going to break all of that down here on the show. Carmine and I, props, totals, sides, much, much more. Looking forward to it, though. And Carm, despite kind of the weird ending with the Nazem Kadri goal going top corner or top shelf, really, nobody even really knowing it was a goal for a couple seconds after such a great game. Definitely a weird ending, but man, that was a great hockey game to watch. It might not have been as exciting as far as great plays throughout the entire game, but it was a tight one nonetheless throughout the full 60. Needed an extra frame, and Colorado gets the job done in overtime. What's going on with you, Carm?
Yeah, it was an interesting game, and I like how Stamkos kind of skated up there and tried to flick it, the puck from the top of the net back to his goalie and think that nobody was going to see it. But yeah, you know what? Twitter pretty much exploded with everything that happened in that game, both early on and, of course, what happened late. And yeah, listen, people are going to be upset no matter what side you're cheering for. The goalie's mask coming on and the play continuing and them scoring. The rule is there. The rule is there that says if the offensive team is in possession of the puck with a chance to score, the refs don't blow it down. I'll get back to that in a second. The offside, or not the offside, the too many men on the ice. Refs normally let a guy who is within 5 feet of the boards get to the bench. But Kadri or McInnis, whoever was replacing the player going to the bench, had the puck. So they're talking about that thing. Here's the problem, Andrew, and I talked about it early in the playoffs, is we haven't seen any consistency with the referees. In the third period, there could have been 3 or 4 penalties on either team, but they put the whistle away. They didn't want to decide the game. But herein lies the thing, is when you put the whistle away because you don't want to make a call that decides the game, you've already decided the game because you're not making calls that should be penalties. And herein lies the thing. All season long, all playoff long, Andrew, the goalies have been protected. Quick whistles, even when the puck isn't smothered. And here's one where the mask comes off. I get the rule, and I understand the rule, and they applied the rule perfectly. But they blow the whistle so quickly that I'm actually shocked that they didn't do it in this instance. And then again, with the too many men on the ice, they say they don't want to determine a game by calling a penalty. By not calling it, you kind of determine a game. So it doesn't matter what side of the fence you're on, you're going to be pissed or you're going to try and justify it. I'm not going to. I'm just going to say that the refereeing has been absolutely terrible, not NBA standard refereeing this this playoff season, but the inconsistency of the refs, even the best ones who are supposed to be doing it. And these guys get paid a lot of money. If you don't think refs get paid a ton of money, these guys are making $250,000 or more, plus playoff bonuses each and every year. So all you ask is for consistency, and putting the whistle away in the third period is not something I enjoy. So with that said, we got Game 5.
It
Slip of the
feels like a
tongue.
game 7 because it is a must win, obviously. Well, for the Tampa Bay Lightning, it's certainly a must win. And I'm sure Colorado, they don't want to wait any longer to win this series either. They want to close things out tonight. Colorado, they are minus 175 current favorites here tonight at home. And we have plus 142. As far as the Tampa Bay Lightning goes, we can put the graphic up here on the screen, guys, but I'm reading the odds from the bottom of the screen. They're a little bit different than what the graphic says right there. But yeah, plus opening lines. My apologies. That's the opening lines there in the bottom. Top are the current lines here. Plus 155 for Tampa Bay. So minus 185 current number for Colorado. And yesterday on WagerTalk today, heard Dave Koken talking about this, and him and Teddy were talking about, what price range are you comfortable laying with Colorado at home? Is this the sweet spot after that performance and after how tight that game really was? Do you feel as if that's a justifiable price and one you can lay with Colorado? And I'll just start with this. Personally, I know we've seen 2 overtimes in this series, but I think the puck line is the play instead of laying that juice. Of course, the regulation is a great play to make as well, but the amount of times we see elimination games decided by multiple goals, whether it's just from a blowout, whether it's from a couple late third period goals, whether it is from an empty net goal, I will tell people, take a look at that minus 1.5. You're going to get 150. You're going to get 160. You're going to get 145. Depending on where you're shopping around, you're going to get a hell of a lot better price than you will with Colorado on the money line. Just my opinion there, but you guys know how I feel about these elimination games. And sometimes when you see the way the game ended and Tampa Bay having the lead at one point in that game, you have to wonder, is this team done? Are the Tampa Bay Lightning done, or will they continue to fight, and will they fight off and extend this series? We'll find out. Before I throw it to you, Carm, just want to go over a couple of stats that I wanted to read off here. The block shots have been, I don't know, it's kind of taken over my brain. These block shots, 34 blocks for Tampa Bay. I mean, I'm watching that game with a 5% pick on Colorado, and I'm thinking, can Cale Makar please find an open lane? Can Devon Toews please stop shooting pucks at players' shin pads? It's unbelievable for some of these guys how they were just struggling to find open lanes, and a great job there by Tampa Bay to have 34 block shots. The Avalanche had 37 shots on goal and 34 of their shots blocked. It is unbelievable. These players are putting everything they have on the line. I just wanted to mention that real quick, Carm, because to me, that's incredible. 21 block shots for Colorado, but 34 there. As far as the hits go, it was a pretty physical game. 41 hits to 29 in favor of Colorado. The power plays and special teams, Carm mentioned it, wasn't really a factor. Last 5 minutes in the third period, I think we saw 2 guys get hit from behind. We saw 3 tripping calls, a hooking. The referee could have seen a bloodbath out there and wouldn't have put his hand up. And it's tough because you don't want to have a call decide the game. But like Carmine mentioned, if you don't call anything, you're kind of already deciding things in that aspect. But I just wanted to mention before we jump into our picks and some props and plays, I personally would not recommend that money line. We've talked about it. Carmine and I are on the same page about bankroll management and that such, especially for me. I've discussed in the show about elimination games, about how many of them, end in a victory for one team with more than one goal. So great price there on the puck line. But man, I just feel like we've seen Colorado play so strong, and they continue to get these shots blocked. You have to think eventually they'll start finding some lanes and putting some more goals in. But 3-2 finish in game 4, Carm. What are your thoughts moving on to this game?
Yeah, the first, as far as the shots go, like Makar still had 5 shots on goal in game 4, because he possesses that ability. If you see him at the top of the circle, the top of the blue line, and when he's got that puck and those lanes are taken away from him, he's got this quick body movement where he literally moves over 6 inches, 7 inches, and he now has a small lane to the front of the net, and he gets some shots off. Without those blocks, he's probably at a much higher number. As far as shots go, the McInnis one just keeps coming in. You just got to bet it blindly The last two shows I've given it off as the show best bet. Guess where I'm going today? We'll talk about that later. But it's one of those things, Andrew. It's Tampa's been two great cup runs by this team. Let's see what reaction they have. Obviously they're facing elimination here, but they faced elimination, in the series against Toronto. That they faced elimination twice. I think winning Game 6 and Game 7 in that one. When the Islanders took them to Game 7, they faced elimination. So they've found ways to win. It's just how they react to this game, because as veteran laden as this team is, and they've made the cup runs, when something happens to you, they left everything on the ice in this game against Colorado, Game 4 at home. They could just never get a multi-goal lead. They scored early. It was the perfect start for them. They got power plays. They just could not score and get up by a couple goals. And then that happens to them in OT. And I don't want to say it like this because I don't know what's in a player's head, but it kind of rips your soul out. If you're a fan, it rips your soul out. If you're a Tampa fan, knowing that you're that close to sending it back to Colorado, tied at 2, and now you're down 3-1, facing a team that very rarely loses at home. It's a tough one. We'll see. They're not going to come and roll over and lose 7-0 like they did Game 2. They're going to make a game of it. We'll see what they're made of tonight. But I'm hoping for a good game. But with that said, I just wanted to throw it back to you, give you my thoughts on the shots on goal. This is one of those ones where, Andrew, I think we're going to see quite a few shots on goal for both teams, and it's an angle. If you're looking at props, one you might want to look at certain players who put up some numbers as far as shots on goal props. Even Hedman, a guy that was averaging about a couple shots through the first couple series. The last 3 games, he's had 3, 3, and 5 in the last game in Tampa, and his shots prop, I think, are at 2.5 with a minimal juice, minus 130-ish. So even the Hedman one might be there.
Yeah, Carmine, I've joked around with Andy and Matt in our prop show about how I wish you could bet shot attempts, just like how in the NFL you can bet carries or targets. Who cares if they actually catch the ball? I want to just bet on targets, or with a running back in the NFL betting on potential carries instead of their yardage. Wouldn't it be nice to bet on Cale Makar over on just shot attempts? I mean, like you said, the guy's attempting like 8 or 9 per game, still getting 3, 4, or 5 shots, and a lot of them are getting blocked as well. It's unbelievable. I do think that's the way I would look here. A great shots on goal game, as we saw. If you had the save prop for either goalie last game, you cashed, though. Great performance from Darcy Kemper. He kind of he silenced some haters, I think, in that game.
Yeah.
He had that one with the mask where you talked about, but then after that he did make some big saves, and of course Vasilevsky just doing Vasilevsky things. But the shot props, I think it is a great night for it.
Yeah, and I'm going to give you credit because as much as you tweeted out the fact that I like the under in the game, and I was on WagerTalk today as well too, and I said in Game 4, I was coming right back with the under. I had it in Game 3. It didn't go the way I thought. The Game 4 was played the way I thought Game 3 was played, but there was a lot of soft goals in Game 3 by Tampa. I just didn't think they could replicate that in Game 4. It would likely be another under. But you said on the show, as far as comfort goes, Darcy goes, we just need him to be normal. That's it. You don't need him to be spectacular. You just need him to not let in any soft ones. And he just played his game. He didn't let in any soft ones. And when you allow that first goal less than 30 seconds into a game, I'm going to guess it can do something to your psyche of, oh God, here we go again. He played well. He did what was expected of him, which was just don't make any mistakes. Kind of what we when we joke about Mike Smith. Mike, don't let any bad ones in, and then he lets in one from like 345 feet away from the second row concession stands on a bouncer. But it's I'm going to give you kudos there. You said just all we need is a normal game out of the Colorado goalie, and they should be fine.
Yeah, don't try and compete with Vasilevsky because he's too hard to compete with. Just be yourself. And one thing in the Canadian broadcast I saw they were talking about, which was kind of cool, Carm, the ref tried to go over to Darcy after the first goal was scored and explained to him kind of the rule, and he skated away from the ref. He just wanted to stay locked in. He wanted to stay zoned in. He didn't want to get distracted by talking about the call, or about the helmet being off and stuff like that. I like that kind of stuff. He was like, all right, I'm over it now. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not going to let that sit in my head. It's happened. That's a one goal. Let's keep it going. So as far as these shots on goal props go, we can talk about, your Kucherovs of the world. Like you would talk about Hedman at to me, 2.5. I see -140 at DraftKings. You can get 30 at different sports books as well. But what about the guys like down the lineup even more? Like, I don't know, like, how many times I've talked about guys like Corey Perry and Nick Paul for the Tampa Bay Lightning. We were joking around before this show even started about how it's going to be his next chapter to join the Colorado Avalanche next year if he loses again in his third straight Stanley Cup final. All jokes aside, though, his number, Carm, is 1.5 shots on goal at -130 for Corey Perry, a down the lineup type of guy. Someone that I know that you've talked about on the show, and I've liked quite a bit as a key piece for the Tampa Bay Lightning, is Andre Palat. His is at 1.5 as well. A lot more juice on that one. But sometimes those ones are interesting too. Like Stamkos has 5 shots in one game, and then last game it goes to overtime, and guess how many shots he had? 1. The guys for Tampa Bay that seem to be making the biggest difference are the guys down the lineup. Are they worth a sprinkle, or do you think this game, if Tampa Bay wins it and they show up at least, it's going to be the big boys doing the job?
I don't know. You look at when we did our preview of this, we talked about the matchup Cirelli versus McKinnon, and he had 5 shots on goal last game in Tampa, Cirelli, and since the and going back to the New York Rangers series, I think he's had 5 or 6 games where he's had 4 or more shots on goal. So he's not only matching up well and playing defensively against the top lines, and from game 3 onwards, when he moved Cirelli over to the line against Kreider and Zibanejad, he played extremely well, shut down that line, but he got shots on goal, and we're seeing he's doing the same thing again. We keep talking about McKinnon not scoring any goals. Maybe it's because of the matchup as well too. Cirelli's done a good job of shutting him down, but McKinnon's still McKinnon. He still gets to play into the ozone. He's still picking up some assists. At the end of the day, I'm pretty sure McKinnon is perfectly happy not scoring a goal, as long as the end result is that Colorado's won the game. It's your performances are only scrutinized when your team is losing, and his team is not losing right now.
Well, and to the point you're making there about the matchups, I think he has been a good two-way forward here throughout the playoffs. Again, matching up, like you said, throughout the playoffs with all the top guys. Some teams can't rely on their top guys to do that. And I think that he might not have even gotten enough credit for the ability to match up against a guy like Connor McDavid. And I saw a conversation, on the bench. He's talking to Coach Jared Bednar. He looks frustrated because his job is to go out there and score. But as a centerman, your job is to protect both ends of the ice, and I feel like he's doing that as well. But Carm, the funny thing is, he has 1 goal, and I was lucky enough that I released that last game for him to score. It goes off his skate, right? But his shot prop just keeps hitting. So it's like you mentioned, the goal prop is still only like +130 or 35. The guy can't find the back of the net for the life of him, but he's getting 5 or 6 shots. But if you notice, all the shots he's getting are almost with the purpose of freezing the puck. Like before a change, he's just throwing the puck at, like his shots haven't, maybe near the end of the game, but they were all, not really the most challenging shots kind of thing.
Yeah, and he got some power play ones, and there was some, like you said, where he was almost below the goal line and took a couple steps in and then just fired at the pads. And it's kind of like what you said, is he's either trying to go short side or he's trying to get a whistle for his team, but he keeps picking up the shots, and I just don't understand why the VIG is not gone any higher than 140. I think at DraftKings earlier I saw 145 because I bet it. The minute the shot props come out, I bet them just because I anticipate the juice going up. But it's not so much the vig as I'm surprised we haven't even seen like let's say like a flat 5. I know the books want either an over or an under to hit, but I'm just surprised that given the fact that it's now 12 of 18 or 13 of 19. I think it's 13 of 19. It's one of the two, 12 of 18 or 13 of 19 that he has gone over that 4.5. And 4.5 is as high as it goes. I have never seen a player in the playoffs with anything higher than 4.5. They're usually 2.5s that get juiced quite a bit. And some of these 1.5s that get juiced, but 4.5, and he just keeps getting there, Andrew, because
it's crazy.
He's going to be on the number. He's on the number 1 power play, the number 1 unit. He's on the number 1 line. If they're down in a game, he's picking up extra shifts in the third period. So you can't go wrong. I'm sorry, even laying and you know me, I'm not big on laying a lot of juice. I talk about all season long. I don't think laying 140 juice on a prop that keeps on consistently hitting is a bad way to go. He hasn't hit it 6 times in the playoffs, but you're still ahead. You're still profiting if you're taking these ones. And one of those ones is where he had, I think, 4 shots on goal in the 7-0 game, and he only got 16 minutes of ice time because pretty much in the third period he wasn't out there. He picked up a few shifts, but he just wasn't out there. It's kind of like what you say, protect your best players in spots where they don't need to be out there.
Absolutely. And I like that you brought that up last show because I'm a fan of that stuff. And it definitely can affect props, which is not always great for us. But there's no need for that guy to be out there. As far as another prop here with just strictly assists. So not a goal, not an overall point, but just strictly assists. So I was able to cash. I've had a cold run with, past couple puck time shows, but I cashed last show with Lehkonen to get a point. And I realized to myself, Carm, Lehkonen has some goals in the playoffs. He's been a good addition, but you know what he has a lot more of than goals? Assists. And he's plus 195 tonight for over 0.5 assists on the night. So looking at that number, and I talked about this guy as well on our prop show earlier, Cale Makar. He scores goals, no doubt about it. If they win tonight, he's going to win the Conn Smythe Trophy as the MVP for Colorado. But at minus 145, you talk about juice worth laying. I think for Cale Makar to get an assist, you see the way he works the puck to his wingers. He's the one, they kind of have a triangle going on with their power player, even when they're setting up in the offensive zone. He's in the top. He moves the puck around to Rantanen, McInnis on one side or the other. To get an assist at minus 145, I thought was a pretty good price. And Victor Hedman, we talk about a guy like him. He's minus 105. So not, a juicy price, not, great odds, not horrible odds for a guy that's been very involved in the rush, a guy passing the puck around, scored a goal last game at minus 105 to get an assist. Again, these defensemen, they dish the puck around. They're the leaders on the power play. They're the ones on the blue line passing the puck off to the snipers on the wing. And I just like betting those props, Carm, because you look at a guy like Hedman, what are his odds to get a point, in the 200 range? You turn that point prop into just an assist prop, all of a sudden you're looking at minus 105.
Yeah. I get it, Andrew. Sorry, it's a swig of water there. But we talk about it, and I wanted to touch once you finished on that. I just wanted to talk about like the power play points. It's the same thing. We talked about the Colorado power play. Don't give them a power play; they're going to make you pay. And again, the McInnis goal, however it went in, it still went in on the power play, and I think that's 5. I think it's 5 power play goals in the Stanley Cup Finals, along with a shorthanded goal. So their specialty teams has been the better of the two. And then you look at tonight, you can, while the prices aren't huge, the plus prices, if they get a power play goal, you could cash 2 of them on one goal, which is Makar over half a point on the power play, plus 125, and the exact same price on McKinnon at plus 125. Landeskog's like plus 160, and Rantanen's like plus 110 on those. But on on that power play goal, it was McInnis from Makar, and I think and Rantanen on that one. So if you think we're going to see some power plays tonight, and Colorado's going to get some, and they score, you're going to cash these two. So those are two that I'm likely going to play myself, and then put them up as a couple client plays up at WagerTalk as well too. So I like the plus money on those ones. Speaking of which, Andrew, I just want to mention I did. If you remember Game 4, I said if you're going to take Colorado to win Game 4 at minus 110, I call it the Bianco boost. If you're going to take, you could have just taken Colorado to win the series in 5 games, figuring that they're going to clinch at home, and the price was what was it, plus 220, I think it was. Yeah. And now the thing is minus 110. If you figured out the parlay, and this is where the boost comes in. If you just parlayed the money lines, minus 110 game 4, and right now we're at minus 175. Those two, minus 110 and minus 175, works out to about even 2-1. So 2-1. And if this game goes up to like minus 180 or minus 185 by game time, that 2-team money line parlay would have been about plus 190 as opposed to getting plus 220. So I'm all for getting those few extra dollars long term. It's good for your bankroll.
Bianco boost. The Bianco boost. I like that. That's got to be the new WagerTalk. We'll do if you like every Friday show on Puck Time next year, we're going to say, all right, if you like this team to win and you like this team to win tomorrow, here's the Bianco boost. No, it's a little bit, obviously it makes more sense in the playoffs, but I like that. That could be something that sticks, Carm. You got to trademark that. That could be something that kind of holds on for a while. But those type of ideas are really good as far as, number one, just managing your bankroll, and number two, kind of forecasting what the odds are going to be. Like you said, I mean, we go from a pick'em game all the way up to a minus 180. If you like Colorado in Game 4, you're probably going to like them again at home. You get those plus 220 odds. So great stuff there. I'm happy you mentioned that, Carm. And I hope you're right. I think it'll be a good game, but I'm not sure Tampa Bay is going to stay alive, but we'll see. All of our client picks, including totals, sides, and props, can be found at wagertalk.com. Of course, we're talking about a lot of props on the show today for you guys. Some different side opinions, totals opinions, but everything that we release to our clients and our official plays are at wagertalk.com. Carm,
I'm going to go one further on. I'm going to go one further. I'm going to go one further.
You gave me the pen.
Yes,
you gave me the pen.
I gave you the pen. I'm going to go one further on this. All right, for those guys tuning in, because whether it ends tonight or whether it ends on Sunday, Game 6 will be on Sunday. This could be the last show, unless it goes Game 7. I do have a 5% play up at WagerTalk, but I am not attaching any of my prop bets to that. I'm gonna put it in the analysis section so you guys know who they are. I'm gonna tell you all my prop bets on this show. I already mentioned 2 of them, which is Makar and McKinnon to register a power play point. And my show best bet is one of my client plays. And I'll mention a couple of other ones, Andrew, as we go along. Again, just because I'm not attaching it to, so if they're not for sale, but I'm going to let you guys know. Anyone who has my all access for NHL or all access gets those plays, but I'll mention them because they're just player props and shot props.
Awesome stuff. So you grab a day pass, you grab, the 5% play, you're getting all the stuff that Carm releases, but you're going to find out his other player prop in his best bet segment here. But I'll kick things off as far as, Carm 30 days off, $30 off Carm 7-day all access. Good time to have that graphic up on the screen, especially with a 5% play up. So there it is, Carm $30 off Carm 7-day all access. Especially if you're new to buying picks and you don't want to buy a 30 or 90 days, good time to start with 7-day all access. Get a little mixture of everything. Get involved with a couple different sports as well. Carm, for me, my power play is going to be Cale Makar, like I mentioned, to get an assist. I look at that price as minus 145. You might think it's steep for a player to get an assist, but not for a guy that logs as much ice time and has such an impact on the game like Cale Makar really does. The way he moves the puck around, the way he gets up in the rush with the forwards, and how he performs on the power play, to me, he is going to be a huge impact on this game. He's obviously the Conn Smythe heavy favorite going into this game, and I feel like he will get it done and get us an assist at -145. I have my CFL All Access package, 8-3 to start the week, had a winner, or start the season off, had a winner last night on a 5-1 run now, dating back to last week, and a 5% MLB play going tonight. So looking forward to a huge, huge day and a big weekend coming up with CFL action. Canadian football, if you aren't a fan of the sport, if you haven't bet it before, give me a shot. Join me for this weekend. Join that 30-day all access I have, and we'll try and make some money in the CFL. Over to you, Carm. 5% play for you. What's going on, man? 3-0 night in MLB for you, I saw last night.
Yeah, listen, baseball was good. I have just a quick note before I talk about myself, Andrew. I'm going to talk about you because you very rarely do it. Awesome start to CFL, man. I watch it. I've had season tickets for the Toronto Argos, and I bet it. But I look to you and Buster to give me the plays. You're off to a great start. Keep it going, man. I'm loving this stuff. Football can never start too early as far as that goes. And then before I get into my best bet, I'm just going to mention really quickly, and then I'll mention the promo again. These are prop bets that I'm playing and I'm taking, and I'm putting up. Makar, McKinnon, both to register a point plus 125. The shot props, Makar over 2.5. McKinnon, I'll get to that in a second. And then Victor Hedman is over 2.5 as well too. Those are like 1% shot props that I like that I'm putting up. So they're not available for sale. So if you bought a package and they're not there, don't complain. You're hearing them right now. Now, my show best bet. Let's talk about that one. I am going to go right back to the well, guys. Nathan McKinnon, over 4.5 shots on goal. Listen, he just continues to do it. Game 5 tonight could be a big one. Could be the cup lifter tonight. He's going to be a part of it. So let's, if they do it, he'll be a big part of it. Over 4.5. He's been hitting it. Let's just keep going with it. Lay the juice minus 140-ish. 2 plays up in MLB, 5% play up in NHL, 3 plays up on Saturday for soccer. 7-day all access, $69, less than $10 a day with code CARM30. Guys, have a great weekend. I'm off to Vegas on Sunday.
Carm, safe travels, man. Have a blast. Have a great birthday celebration. Say hi to all the WagerTalk colleagues for me. And I just want to say that Nathan McKinnon prop, if it ain't broke, don't try and fix it. He has been a shot machine throughout the playoffs. Guys, if we do not see you again on Puck Time, on behalf of all of our guests we had, and of course, Carmine, thank you so much for tuning in. I think we have the best following on this show. You guys are commenting, you're watching, you're listening on podcast form. We really, really do appreciate you. We hope you learned some things this year. We hope you cashed some tickets with us. And we love all of you guys' interaction in the live chat, comment section, and all that good stuff on Twitter as well. So if we don't see you again, thank you very much for watching us all year long. And we will see you next year. If there is a Game 7, we'll see you back here on WagerTalk TV. A quick recap of the power plays. I have Cale Makar to record an assist. And once again, Carmine Bianco, Nathan McKinnon over 4.5 shots on goal. Thanks a lot, guys. We'll see you next time.
2022 has been a profitable year for clients of Carmine Bianco, and he's gearing up for a big final 6 months with NFL, NCAA, MLB, FIFA World Cup, NHL, soccer, and more. As we hit the midpoint of 2022 and are looking at 9% of inflation, on the flip side, Carmine Bianco has increased his clients' bankrolls by 38% by far this year. We wanted to give you a chance to jump on board and finish this year with a limited time deal. Get Carmine's All Access starting today and going through December 31st, 2022 for only $6.99, discounted from $14.98, coming to just around $3.50 per day. Due to the discounted pricing, WagerBucks and coupon codes cannot be combined with this special offer and are limited to the first 10 subscriptions only.